Put it on fade out so I don't get that abrupt. Hey, what's going on, everyone? Good to see you. Ed Reiner here, daily dose of mind stuff. I want to welcome you today. Just wanted to come on quickly. We are on day 72. That's not right. Day 74. Day 74. My title is wrong. Day 74, not day 72. So today I was studying the thinking into results. You may or may have not seen, if you're on Facebook, you see I post pictures when I'm studying with the facilitation on this. And this is a program that I facilitate as a Proctor Gallagher consultant, but I'm also going through it as a client because it's important that we always are learning and trying to better our ability at what it is that we do. And that brought me to today's little, not epiphany, but need to feel that I wanted to share this with you guys because we were talking and studying on the impression of increase, which I've talked to you before about, or I've talked on here before about in The Science of Getting Rich. Wallace D. Wattles, he has a whole chapter in this book on the science of getting rich on the impression of increase, which is chapter 14, which, as you can see, I've got that. There's 3 chapters that I have earmarked, which are chapters that Lloyd Conant, the co-founder of the Nightingale Conant Corporation, and Bob Proctor decided that those three chapters were the most important to understand and really to apply the ideas that were presented in that book, which are the thinking stuff, which the first chapter is thinking truth regardless, and then the impression of increase, and then gratitude. And I may do a workshop on that at some point. I don't know. That's something that I have as written down as an idea. But today, getting off base today, what jumped out to me was about the law of compensation. The law of compensation, most people don't understand that there's an actual law of compensation. Laws are things that are there. They work for everyone. They're unbreakable. You don't mess with them. You work in harmony with them. And most people don't know this law. I've mentioned it before on here, but I wanted to bring it up. Let me just put it up here real quick. So the law of compensation clearly states that the amount of money that you earn will always be in exact ratio to the need for what you do, your ability to do it, and the difficulty there will be in replacing you. Now, there's probably a need for what you do. You didn't have anything to do with that. That's just there. Depending on what it is that you do, there's a need. So you didn't have to create that need. If you are in an industry or you're trying to create industry, you're going to have a long road ahead of you. But for the majority of us, if not all of us, there's a need for what it is that you do. We had nothing to do with that. Your ability to do it, that is just something that we want to work on. That's the only point we need to look at, is this second point, your ability to do it. So if we just every single day, if we just work at getting better every single day, the third one, which was the difficulty there is in replacing you, that's going to automatically take care of itself. Now, no one is irreplaceable. I mean, everybody can be replaced. There's always someone that can do something better. But if you just focus on number 2, your ability to do what you're doing, you're going to be very difficult to replace. A lot of people aren't difficult to replace. Now, if we look at this law, and I remember Bob telling a story, using a story to illustrate this, is if you look at a elevator operator, back when they had elevator operators, because Bob he grew up right after the war. There were elevator operators. Now, you go in, you tell them what floor, they pull down the thing and you go on whatever floor it is. Now that person there, you could have somebody walk in on the elevator, second floor, elevator operator puts the button, pushes the button, does whatever, shuts the, those doors that have the grids on them. Anyway, he goes up and goes to the third floor, and that guy gets off. A couple hours later, that guy gets back on. Now, the guy that got off and on, he could have made more in that couple of hours than the elevator operator makes in a full year. So there's a need for what they do, but how difficult it is to replace them. So let's say that guy might have been a brain surgeon. Well, he's a lot more difficult to replace than an elevator operator is. An elevator operator can be trained how to do that within an hour. But the brain surgeon has to spend years and years and years perfecting their craft. So what we want to do is put ourselves in a position where we're very difficult to replace. And the way we do that is we focus on number 2, our ability to do what we're doing. If we just focus every day of just getting a little bit better at what we're doing and decide, you know what, I'm going to become one of the best at what I do, you're going to be very difficult to replace. And your stock and your compensation will rise because of this law of compensation. So I'll put that in. I'll do another post and put that little card in. But that's all I wanted to talk to you about today. The law of compensation, the need for what you do, your ability to do it, the difficulty there will be in replacing you. Focus on number 2, and it takes care of the other 2. You don't have to do anything about those. Just focus on getting a little bit better at what you're doing. If you're in real estate, decide you're going to be the best realtor there is. If you're in sales, that you're going to be the best sales. You're going to provide the best service that you can to your customers and find out what their needs are and give them what they want, and not just try to sell them to try to earn some money. If you work on helping the other person and leaving them with an impression of increase, the law comes back. The energy you put out is going to return to you. So put out that good energy. Become an expert at what you do. So that's all I'm going to take the time for today. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. If you like this, go ahead and subscribe. Do all that good stuff. Come over to my Facebook group. Join our private Facebook group. I'm building that up. I'm going to be doing some phenomenal trainings here coming up towards the end of this month. So come and join us. It's going to be phenomenal. And you guys have a great rest of the day. Seb Reiner, peace. God bless.